Well, we're well into the year. Weather's getting warmer. Yes, much to be thankful for. The weather hasn't been too bad. A little bit of rain here and there, which, kind of need that for the flowers to bloom. And, well, if the grass would grow a little slower, that would be helpful. But good time of year. All the trees that bloom, so many things that we can appreciate in terms of God's creation and the beauty of it. Um, you probably, I haven't done this in a while. I was down for a few days. Actually spent 3 days recuperating from whatever it was that I had. It wasn't COVID. I was tested. Headache, body ache, fever. Yep, general lack of motivation. Did work from home, but it wasn't what it would have been. Didn't have the stomach issues, which I want to tell you that's a very important thing for me. Don't like the stomach issues. Anyway, I want you to think I've been listening to various podcasts, and one of the podcasts recently was a person who's what they call an evolutionary biologist. Now, there's many of them today. They've kind of branched into the realm of biology, and they've branched into the realm of sociology. And they're trying to answer the questions of how man got to where we are in terms of social structure, culture, and many aspects. And one of those elements is why we even believe. Why do we believe anything? And one of the elements that makes us unique as human beings is the fact that we can imagine. We can think about not only the present, that you can say that there are certain animals that are more cognizant than others. They may be able to remember, for example, the past to a small degree. I doubt any can project or even begin to project. If we're going to do a story like a Disney story, we have to give them human attributes. We have to give them traits that would allow them to speak and think and project as we do. This is a human trait. It sets us apart, puts us at the top of the order. Also, makes us like God, meaning that we were created in His image and likeness, with the ability to create, take what He has given us, and to manipulate it, to make things, to create new, have ideas, to think of something, and then progressively bring that to be. That's what makes us unique. That's why we're special. And by the way, that's also why we're accountable for what happens in terms of the earth. Because we were meant to be stewards of God's creation. But I want you to just take a moment and think. There are those people that say that, and from an evolutionary viewpoint, that religion was created, just imagined. It had to evolve. It evolved because we began to make tools, and some people were kind of placed at a higher position, and even to the point of being in awe of them because they could do what others couldn't do, and we gave them a godlike place in our consciousness, and that just continued to evolve to where this person was no longer even had to be seen. It was a heavenly being or some other, a dimensional being that was placed above us. We imagined it. And that we all, throughout the world, have imagined these things for one basic reason, is that it would keep us in order. In other words, we would have to have some degree of accountability, that these were people that ultimately we would have to reverence, respect, and we would, by virtue of that reverence and respect, it would adjust our behavior. I just want you to think for a moment of how's that going. It hasn't really worked, has it? In fact, what we found is that no matter how much we have imagined ourselves to be whatever we wanted ourselves to be, or imagined to be real, whatever we wanted to be real, it hasn't changed the nature and the complexion and the diversity and also the trauma that is created by the human condition has it. In fact, if anything, it's multiplied it exponentially. This is why in Romans 1 and verse 18 through 21, verses that we've spoken of many times, that God created us to know him. And when we rejected that relationship, we fell back to a position of, okay, I'll reveal myself through nature. But you can suppress that. And if you do, then you'll become vain or empty, or your imagination, your ability to reason through, to think through, will no longer be connected to me. You'll not be able to see my glory in anything. And you'll create various forms of worship that are subservient to your own lust patterns, whatever you want, whatever your desire is. And the ultimate end of this will be not only the perversion, but the destruction of other human beings and also yourself. Do we not see this everywhere? Is this not part of the human condition? So I find it interesting that there are people on this earth that are so convinced of the facts of evolution, looking at this moment and being able to project back what they would consider to be millions and millions of years, and tell us how we came to be what we are. And I don't know, we'll talk about it more in the next devotion, but if this is how it is, then if we're looking at hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions of years to get to a place where they would want humanity to be, which is a place of total peace and respect and unanimity between us, we will long since have destroyed ourselves, because it isn't going fast enough. If it took us millions of years to get to this, with the inventions that we have created, can you imagine what it will, if it takes even tens of thousands of years for us to get to that place? We will long since have destroyed ourselves. I hate to say it, but it's easier for me to believe that the problem that we have as humans is that we were created in the image and likeness of God, and we fell. And in that fall, we were separated from him. And as a result of that separation, we chose to create other images that satisfied our desires, either for power or lust, any of the urges that we have as human beings. And we chose to worship them. And in so doing, we diminished ourselves as creatures. I hope today that the one thing that we can give one another is the respect. It doesn't matter whether a person agrees with us, agrees with what we believe, the respect that we all as human beings deserve, because you and I and every person that's breathing the air of this earth was created in the image and likeness of God. And therefore, it's to be respected. Till next time, friends, God bless you.